We made it. We arrived. Part 5 of 5. And if you're feeling that little hit of dopamine from that sense of completion, congrats. You just walked right into the 5th and final bias. Get ready because we saved the worst for last.
Life is beautiful.
Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian in history. The guy's got 28 Olympic medals, and 23 of them are gold.
That's the definition of a GOAT.
Yeah, he actually has more medals and gold medals than any human being who has ever lived.
Wow.
So his whole life, he wanted to be the greatest swimmer of all time, and there is no doubt that he has become the greatest swimmer of all time.
He has arrived at the pinnacle.
Yes, and you know what happened when he arrived at the pinnacle?
Tell us.
He fell into the deepest depression of his life. He locked himself in a room. He stopped eating. He stopped talking to anyone. He actually became suicidal, he says on public interviews. So he went from the pinnacle to the darkest period of his entire life.
So that high came crashing down.
He fell into the trap that is the 5th and final cognitive bias, which is the arrival fallacy.
Yeah, this is a dangerous one for all the type A's like ourselves out there that are constantly setting goals and going after them. I'm glad we're having this episode right now because I really think it's good to continuously remind ourselves of this fallacy.
Yeah. The arrival fallacy is your brain's false belief that once you arrive at the goal, the promotion, the relationship, the body, the bank account, you will finally be happy. And it's complete bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
Why is it bullshit?
Well, there's actually 2 studies that back up the fact that this is bullshit. There are 2 thinking errors that this kind of filters down into. The first one is hedonic adaptation, the hedonic treadmill, which was a study done in 1971 where they tracked 2 groups of people, lottery winners and people who had been paralyzed in accidents, and they wanted to know how much happier would these lottery winners be 6 months later than the people who were paralyzed in accidents. And the answer was there was basically no difference. Both groups had returned to roughly their pre-event happiness levels. So whether it was a good event or bad event, after a couple months, they both return to status quo.
Wow.
So we think that these things in the future, like, oh, I can't wait till I win the lottery or I achieve this big, gigantic thing or I get that promotion. My whole life will be different. I can't wait till I retire. My whole life will be different. Meanwhile, you actually get there and science proves nothing really changes. Nothing really changes at all. So we spend our lives obsessed over these goals that don't actually end up changing how we feel for very long.
I think the important thing to remember is we don't actually want the thing. We want the feeling the thing gives us.
Yeah. I also think progress is more important than arriving. Like
100%.
Direction is more important than the arrival at that thing.
100%. And there's what's that guy's name? The happiness guy, Mihaly, the guy from Flow. How do you say his name?
Oh yeah, I have no idea how to say his name. Mihalovsky or something.
Yeah,
like that.
whatever. I can never get his name right. But basically, he spent 40 years studying happiness. And he found that the moments people reported being happiest weren't moments of arrival. They were moments of total absorption in the process and what he calls flow.
Yeah, I actually have a perfect example today of this. Yeah. So I talked about this in yesterday's episode, how I've been going through a tough time and like my diet has kind of fallen off and I've gained a couple pounds in just a week. And when I looked at myself in the mirror this morning, I was not happy with my body and the pounds that I had gained. But today I got to the gym. Today I did all the daily disciplines and I felt like I was back on track. And because I felt like I was back on track, I felt happy, right? Because I was back on track. I was making progress again. And just the act of making progress made me happy, right? It didn't matter where I was right now. It mattered where I felt like I was going.
100%. The good life is not a destination. It's a direction.
So I said there was 2 errors, by the way. I want to get to the second one. The effective forecasting error. So there's research that showed that humans are terrible at predicting how happy or unhappy future events will make them. So we chronically overestimate how good things will feel and how long that feeling will last. And the same with bad things. We overestimate how devastated we'll be and how long that will last. So those are the 2 things that are basically creating this arrival fallacy in our brains.
Wow. I want to bring up the quote from Jim Carrey because I think he really embodies the arrival fallacy in a quote. So Jim Carrey obviously got everything he ever wanted in his life, became super famous, became super rich, and then at one point in his life, he was interviewed and he said, "I think everyone should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer."
This another thing I want to bring up is this concept that's really helped me because I had struggled with this arrival fallacy for a very long time. And it's this concept of infinite games versus finite games.
That's great.
So there's this
Concept.
book called, what is it called?
The Infinite.
Finite and Infinite Games
Yeah.
by James Carse, who is a religious studies professor at NYU. He says, a finite game is played to win. It has clear rules, defined boundaries, fixed players, and a definite end. Football is a finite game. Poker is a finite game. Chess. Somebody wins, somebody loses, and then the game ends. An infinite game is played to keep playing. The rules can shift, the players can change, there's no clear end. The goal isn't to win. The goal is to keep the game going, to grow, to evolve, and to stay in it. Friendship is an infinite game. Marriage is an infinite game. Health is an infinite game. Building a meaningful life is an infinite game. The trap that we fall into, and the reason this has helped me so much, is by playing every game like it's a finite game. And more specifically, the arrival fallacy that I fall into a lot is playing business, the game of business, like a finite game. Like once I reach this level of success, I have won.
Yeah.
And I have completely switched, and I've completely eliminated a finish line in my brain about business, and it's literally become infinite, where I am dedicated to this game of business for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And so the moment I did that is the moment I gave my fullest attention, like you were saying, to this play, to this day, right? Because if I can give each day my best, I don't have to worry about the rest. It takes care of itself. Right?
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
No, but it's true. I really, ever since I have done that mentally, where I've played an infinite game,
Yeah.
and I think the same could be true with health, right? Instead of going on fad diets and having this idea of the beach body that you want this summer, eliminate the fucking finish line altogether and just make it your lifestyle. Like it's an infinite game that you are playing. It's one you will never stop getting better at. There is no ceiling, right? Completely eliminate it, and it forces you to just show up right now, today.
Yeah. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
I like that. The infinite game.
Remove the finish line.
That's beautiful. Is there a call to action we got here?
Yeah, I want to actually do a conscious check-in for everyone to come back into the present moment, because that's really what this arrival fallacy boils down to. It's not wanting to be there in the next moment, at the next milestone, the next achievement, but being here. So I want to take a moment to do this conscious check-in where we're going to do a quick body scan, and we're going to release any tension that we're feeling in our bodies and come into this moment and finish this episode feeling present and at peace.
Let's do it.
So we're going to start by bringing our attention to the top of our heads. We're going to scan down our forehead, our eyelids, our cheeks, our ears, our mouth. We're going to release all the tension that were stored in our face. Release the jaw, just release. Release the tension in your shoulders, just completely let go. Let go of any tension in your upper back, your chest, and your arms, your abdomen, your legs, your hips, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. Just letting the breath come in and out, not trying to change it, just letting it be, feeling the body all at once, and then coming back here right now. Nice present check-in.
I like it. Feeling good. Getting better and better at these things. All right, well, that concludes our 5-part series on the cognitive biases destroying our life.
If you're listening on Spotify, please comment and let us know if you're liking these series or not, because we want to hear from you.
And if you have any ideas for
the next one,
future series, let us know.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you found it valuable. We love you.
Peace.